All right, we got the championship weekend. We got Washington versus the Eagles. Before I get into this, I'm looking for subscribers, so I'd love it if you could subscribe. If you got a question or comment, drop me a note. Love to get those. So Philly is favored by 6 points. I'm going to take Philly on this. One thing I'll say before I get into this, Washington's had a superb year. If you're a Washington fan, you got a lot to be excited by, and if they don't win this game, you've still had a phenomenal year. That was really, I think, a lot of surprise, and I think uh, uh, with Jaden Daniels, just really exciting year. So, but let's go ahead and get in the numbers. So the simulation lights Philly with a 74% chance of winning. That equates to about a 7.5 point spread. We come over here, look at the raw numbers. You really see that differential, that predicted differential, change a little bit. Is it the simulation really likes Philly to be able to put up 31 plus points, and then likewise, it doesn't really like Washington. Sometimes you have to be careful with the numbers because when you have a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, who's a rookie and he's been developing all year and he's been improving pretty much every week. So sometimes the numbers that go into the total stats don't really reflect the growth in that last 6 games. That notwithstanding, I would feel probably more comfortable saying that, yeah, I could see them putting up 24 points. And but likewise, if we're expecting to see Philly put up 31 points, which I completely think that they're capable of, um, it's not unreasonable. The one thing that always, when it comes to picking who's going to win and then picking the point spread, when you have a running team like Philly, and they really are going to be a very run-based oriented offense, and we have two of the best runners in the league. By that I mean Saquon and Jalen Hurts. Uh, you can do that. They're going to control the ball. So sometimes you think they can control the ball the entire game, and they feel very comfortable not necessarily scoring as much as running down clock because they're up by a certain number of points, and it allows that point spread to kind of tighten down a bit, which if you're betting on the game is very frustrating. If you're a fan of the game, it's not nearly as much so. And that's the other thing I would point out is they've got an excellent defense, and you've got uh, what is clearly one of the best rushing offenses in the league going against one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. So with that, there's no reason, especially with clear skies, no precipitation. This shouldn't be a sloppy game for Philly like the Rams game was. Really should be a fairly. This game should not be as competitive unless I think Philly goes out and we see things like fumbles, turnovers, really poor tackling. Jaden Daniels, I think, doesn't have the depth of the talent around him that Jalen Hurts does. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the raw numbers that we have over here. So first off, one of the things that's going to stand out is these are the balance. Both of these teams are balanced for sure. In fact, you could make the argument that Washington is more balanced in this, and that you see that it's expecting them to put up 150 yards passing, sorry, rushing, and about 175 yards of passing. Meanwhile, you've got Philly expecting to put up roughly 200 plus yards of rushing, which is huge, and then only about 150 yards of passing. So the thing that I would point out is the simulation, generally speaking, will overestimate the points when it comes to a heavy rush like that. But the other thing that, as I look at this, when I look at the numbers, I come over here and I see not nearly the total level of predicted explosion. And then I also see in this the turnovers for a rookie quarterback. That is not surprising in any way, shape, or form. Or those are sacks, I should say. But the sacks are going to lead to some of these turnovers. And for the most part, as a rookie, Jaden Daniels, I think, has been pretty good. That's what the number is showing here. But if you're taking sacks, you're not very explosive. You're moving the ball backwards a bit more than what you would prefer. Meanwhile, Philly has a very explosive offense. A lot of that's going to be on the ground. And anytime you've got that type of rushing attack, it's going to open up the play action. It's going to open up, particularly with Jalen Hurts, the ability to do an option, so run pass option, various read options, things along those lines. And that's going to give it's really going to test the depth of the Washington defense. And to be honest with you, in a clean weather game, I don't think that helps Washington. I think in the conditions that Philly played the Rams in the snow, that probably helped the Rams more than what people would probably like to think that it did, because it's going to take away some of the bigger weapons, and it's going to make everyone have to play more of that ground game, which just takes away some of those weapons. So if you're not expecting to see deep passes because of just poor weather, it gives the defense an opportunity to kind of rule out deep that deep threat and cheat a little bit and put another man in the box. Once you start doing that, it just makes football a closer game. But with clear weather and being able to give the ball to Saquon, fake it to Saquon and keep it, fake it to Saquon and pass, that's going to keep the Washington defense on the field a lot more than what they like. So they're going to wear them down. Once they start doing that, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Jayden Daniels, who's shown that he's very capable of coming from behind and doing this, but it's still going to put pressure on him. He's going to have to make those plays, and that should make it interesting. But at the same time, there's no reason I would expect that Philly has the defense and they have the ball control offense where they should be able to control it and maintain this game. So anyhow, like I said, I'm looking for subscribers. And if you got any questions, comments, drop me a note. Let me hear from you. Thanks.